Have you ever found yourself standing in the supplement aisle, staring at those little bottles, wondering, is this actually helping me? Or could it be making things worse? Maybe your doctor mentioned your vitamin D levels are low, or a friend swears by magnesium for better sleep. And now you're hearing all about this thing called vitamin K2. So you buy them, maybe start taking them all together, and just hope it's the right thing. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many people over 60 are doing their best to take care of their health. You want to stay strong, stay active, and keep up with life. And that's a wonderful thing. But here's the truth most people never hear. Even good supplements like magnesium, vitamin D3, and K2 can backfire if you're not taking them the right way. I'm not just talking about wasting your money. I'm talking about putting unnecessary stress on your heart, your kidneys, your bones, even your brain. That's why in today's video, we're going to talk openly and simply about what your body really needs when it comes to these three nutrients. Because yes, they can be powerful allies in your health, but only if you know how to use them wisely. Let's start with something a lot of people are hearing about lately: vitamin D3. It's known as the sunshine vitamin, and for good reason. Your body makes it naturally when you get sun on your skin. But as we get older, that process doesn't work as well, and many of us aren't outside as much as we used to be. So supplementing with D3 can seem like a smart move, especially since it supports everything from bones, to mood, to immune health. But here's where it gets tricky. When you take vitamin D3 by itself, especially in high doses, it increases how much calcium your body absorbs. Now that might sound like a good thing for your bones, right? Right? But calcium doesn't just go straight to your bones. It has to be directed where to go. If it's not, that calcium can wind up in your arteries, your kidneys, even your joints, exactly where you don't want it. And that can increase your risk of things like kidney stones, artery calcification, and stiff joints. That's where vitamin K2 comes in. Think of vitamin D3 as the person who opens the door and lets the calcium in. But K2 is the one who tells the calcium where to sit. Without K2, your calcium might just wander around, building up in places that can hurt you over time. But with enough K2, that calcium is more likely to go exactly where it's needed, to your bones and teeth, strengthening them the way nature intended. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Not all K vitamins are the same. Vitamin K1 is found in leafy greens. And yes, it helps with blood clotting. But K2, especially a form called MK7, has a very different role. It activates proteins that move calcium out of your arteries and into your bones. That's crucial if you're taking vitamin D3. But don't just rush out and buy any old K2 supplement either. If you're taking blood thinners, like warfarin, this is something you must talk to your doctor about. Vitamin K can affect how your blood clots, and mixing it with medications without proper guidance can be dangerous. This doesn't mean you can't ever take it. It just means you need a plan that works for your body and your medications. Now, let's talk about magnesium. It's often called the relaxation mineral, and for good reason. It supports sleep, helps ease muscle cramps, lowers blood pressure, and even calms the nervous system. But here's the twist. If you're taking vitamin D3, your body uses magnesium to process and activate it. That means the more D3 you take, the more magnesium your body needs. And if you're low on magnesium, which many older adults are, you might start to feel side effects like fatigue, headaches, or even irregular heartbeats, all because your body is struggling to keep up. It's like trying to run a car with the gas pedal down, but not enough oil in the engine. So while vitamin D might be giving your system a boost, magnesium is what keeps the engine running smoothly. And if you're not replenishing it, over time, things can break down. But not all magnesium is created equal either. Some forms are better absorbed than others, and some can cause loose stools, which, let's be honest, nobody wants. Magnesium citrate, for example, can help with constipation, but might upset your stomach if taken in high doses. Magnesium glycinate, on the other hand, is gentler and better absorbed, especially for sleep and muscle tension. It's all about matching the form of magnesium to your body's needs, not just grabbing the first bottle you see. So, where does this leave us? Well, the key is balance. If you're taking vitamin D3, you want to make sure you're getting enough magnesium and vitamin K2 at the same time. They work together like a well-tuned orchestra. One instrument out of sync throws off the whole performance. But when each part is playing in harmony, your body has a much better chance of thriving. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt more tired after starting a new supplement routine? Or maybe you're doing everything right but still having trouble sleeping or getting strange muscle cramps that seem to come out of nowhere. That might be your body telling you something's off with the balance. And that's why understanding how these nutrients work together is so important. Now that we've talked about what can go wrong when you take these vitamins separately or without enough guidance, let's look at how to bring things back into balance, starting with how you eat, how you move, and how your daily habits affect the way your body absorbs and uses these nutrients. So let's keep going. You've got vitamin D3 trying to get calcium into your body, K2 trying to guide it where it belongs, and magnesium making sure the whole system runs smoothly. But here's the thing most people forget. Supplements don't work in a vacuum. Your daily habits, what you eat, how you move, how much sun you get, all affect how these nutrients are absorbed and how they work in your body. Let's start with something as simple as food. Did you know that taking your vitamin D3 with a meal that contains fat can dramatically improve how well your body absorbs it? Vitamin D3 is fat soluble, which means your body can't take it in properly unless there's fat to help carry it. So if you're taking your vitamin D3 with just a glass of water on an empty stomach, you might not be getting much benefit at all. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. A bit of avocado, some olive oil on your vegetables, a spoonful of peanut butter, even a few walnuts. These small additions can make a big difference in how your body uses that vitamin. Same goes for K2. Being another fat-soluble vitamin, it follows the same rule. Without some dietary fat, your body just won't absorb it as efficiently. Now, magnesium is a little different. It doesn't need fat, but it does need the right environment in your stomach. Some people take their magnesium at night because it helps them relax and sleep, which can work beautifully. But if you're taking it alongside a meal high in calcium, like dairy or calcium-fortified foods, your body may struggle to absorb both at once. Calcium and magnesium can compete for absorption, so spacing them out a bit, magnesium in the evening, calcium-rich meals earlier in the day, can be a simple but effective strategy. Let's talk about movement. Yes, physical activity still matters, not just for your heart or your weight, but for how your bones use these nutrients. Gentle movement like walking, light stretching, or resistance bands help stimulate bone-building activity. Think of it like sending a signal to your bones that says, "Hey, we still need you strong." And when that signal is combined with the right nutrients, especially calcium that's guided by D3 and K2, your bones are more likely to stay dense and resilient. Even just standing more during the day, getting up every hour to walk around, can help. Movement increases circulation, which means these vitamins and minerals can reach the tissues that need them most. So if you've been taking supplements but staying mostly sedentary, you might not be getting the full benefit. Your body was built to move, and when you do, everything flows better. Now, here's something that often surprises people. Your gut health plays a huge role in how well your body processes these nutrients. As we get older, stomach acid levels tend to decrease. That can lead to poor digestion and reduced absorption. especially for minerals like magnesium. If you've been feeling bloated after meals, have frequent indigestion, or are relying on antacids regularly, your magnesium absorption might be taking a hit. A simple way to support your digestion? Start with fermented foods. A bit of plain yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, or kefir. These help feed the good bacteria in your gut, and when your gut flora is balanced, your digestion improves, making it easier for your body to absorb the very supplements you're taking. Hydration is also key. Without enough water, magnesium doesn't move as efficiently through the body, and constipation becomes more likely, which creates a whole different set of issues. And here's where things get even more interesting. Stress, something we often think of as just emotional, actually burns through magnesium faster than almost anything else. If you've been under chronic stress, dealing with worry, loss, loneliness, or even just everyday pressures, your body is using up magnesium constantly to keep your nervous system stable. That's why, during periods of stress, you may notice more muscle cramps, fatigue, trouble sleeping, all signs your magnesium stores might be running low. So while taking magnesium can help reduce stress, being under stress also uses up your magnesium. It's a cycle. That's why it's not just about popping a pill, it's about nurturing your whole body. Breathing exercises, soft music, short walks in nature, even a few minutes of quiet time with a cup of tea. These moments help your body hold on to the nutrients you're giving it. They aren't luxuries. They're part of your health plan. Now, let's take a moment and reflect on the big picture. If you're taking vitamin D3, K2, and magnesium, or thinking about starting, it's not about choosing one over the others. It's about making sure they're working together in your body, not against each other. That means taking your D3 and K2 with meals that contain a little healthy fat, spacing out your magnesium if needed, especially away from high calcium foods, supporting your digestion through water, fiber, and fermented foods, and keeping stress in check so your body doesn't burn through your reserves too quickly. See how it all connects? Your body is incredibly smart, but it needs the right signals and support to stay balanced. One more thing we can't skip over: dosage. Just because a bottle says 5,000 IU of vitamin D3 doesn't mean it's right for you. Some people may need more, some far less. The same goes for magnesium. Take too much, and you'll know it quickly with an upset stomach. Too little, and your muscles, brain, and bones won't get what they need. It's always worth having your levels checked through a blood test if possible, especially vitamin D and magnesium. This gives you a real window into what your body is doing behind the scenes. And if that's not an option for you, just remember, more is not always better. Gentle, consistent support tends to win out over large doses that overwhelm your system. Think of your body like a garden. You wouldn't dump a gallon of water on a little plant and expect it to grow overnight. You'd water it just right, give it sunlight, tend the soil, and be patient. Your health is the same way. It's not about chasing quick fixes. It's about creating the right environment so your body can do what it was designed to do: heal, strengthen, and thrive. Now that we've looked at how your daily habits can either support or sabotage the supplements you're taking, let's take a closer look at some common mistakes people make with these nutrients and how to avoid them before they cause problems. Let's keep going, because this next part could be what makes or breaks your efforts with these supplements. We've talked about how they work together, how your habits can help or hinder their absorption, but now we need to talk about mistakes. Honest mistakes that even smart, health-conscious people make. And the good news is they're easy to fix once you know what to watch for. One of the most common mistakes? Taking high doses of vitamin D3 without checking your blood levels first. This can sound surprising because vitamin D has such a positive reputation, but too much of it, especially over time, can lead to something called vitamin D toxicity. It's rare, yes, but it's real. And what happens when vitamin D gets too high? Calcium starts building up in your blood. That can cause nausea, kidney problems, or even calcification in soft tissues, things you definitely want to avoid. Now here's where K2 comes in. It acts like a traffic director for calcium. Without enough K2, calcium that's being pushed into your bloodstream by vitamin D3 may not get to your bones where it belongs. Instead, it can wind up in your arteries. That's why taking vitamin D3 alone, without K2, isn't just incomplete, it can be risky. These two vitamins need each other. You're not just adding nutrients, you're creating balance. K2 helps keep that calcium moving to the right places. But there's another layer here. Some people think, I'll just take more magnesium to fix everything. The truth? Too much magnesium, especially in supplement form, can upset your stomach, cause diarrhea, or even interfere with medications you're already taking. And if your kidneys aren't functioning well, which is more common after 60, excess magnesium can build up in the body and become dangerous. That's why blindly increasing your dosage isn't the answer. The smart approach is start low and go slow. If you're new to magnesium, begin with a smaller dose, maybe 100 to 200 milligrams a day, and see how your body responds. Same for D3 and K2. Listen to how you feel. Talk to your healthcare provider when possible, and if you're taking other medications for blood pressure, thyroid, or osteoporosis, make sure there are no interactions. Magnesium, for instance, can interfere with certain antibiotics or heart medications. And here's a sneaky one that most people miss: buying cheap supplements without checking the form they come in. Not all magnesium is created equal. Magnesium oxide, for example, is very common, but your body absorbs very little of it. On the other hand, magnesium glycinate or citrate tends to be gentler and more bioavailable. The form matters just as much as the dose. Vitamin K2 is similar. The most effective form is called MK7. It stays in your body longer and does a better job managing calcium. But many supplements still use MK4, which needs to be taken in higher doses and more often. If you're already putting in the effort to take care of your health, it's worth making sure you're getting the right forms, not just the right labels. You've also got to think about timing. For instance, magnesium is often best taken at night, especially if it helps you sleep. D3 and K2 can go with your first meal, especially one with healthy fats. Keeping them spaced out can reduce competition for absorption and reduce any stomach upset. This kind of gentle routine, morning and evening support, can help your body stay balanced without feeling overwhelmed. Now let's take a breath. If all of this feels like a lot to take in, remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Your body doesn't expect you to fix everything overnight. But when you start giving it the right tools and using those tools the right way, the results can be powerful. Stronger bones, fewer cramps, clearer thinking, better sleep, and maybe best of all, a sense of confidence that you're finally supporting your body instead of guessing your way through a vitamin aisle. And if you've ever felt unsure, overwhelmed, or even frustrated about supplements, you're not alone. So many people over 60 are told to take this or that without any explanation, but your health deserves better than guesswork. It deserves clarity, confidence, and care. So what can you do today? Take a look at your supplement labels. Are you taking D3 alone? Consider adding K2. Are you taking magnesium? Check the form and the dose. Think about how and when you're taking them, with food, with fat, or spaced out from calcium. And if you haven't already, talk with your doctor or a pharmacist you trust. Even a single blood test can offer insight that helps you make smarter, safer decisions. Let's be honest, there's a lot we can't control as we get older, but how we treat our body, what we choose to put into it, and how much we learn about those choices. Those things are still in your hands. You're never too old to improve your health. You're never too late to feel better, think clearer, and move more freely. All it takes is the right information and the courage to use it. If this video helped you, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you had any experiences with these supplements? What's worked for you? Or what didn't? Your story might help someone else. And don't forget, give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. We're building a community here, one that supports you with real advice, not just trends. Here's to living strong, clear, and full of energy. No matter your age, you've got this.